I could go take off and have fun. I know.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
we are live. So watch what you say. Okay, so I want to welcome everybody to Fabric Chicks surprise pop up live today. We have the amazing Donna Baker here from the Bay Area. What part of the Bay Area are you from?
A little town called Oakley.
Okay, and you belong to Delta,
Actually,
not Delta. You
Data
switched.
Valley
Okay,
Quilters. I'm a
I know. I was listening, but
former president of Delta Quilters. Yes.
okay, perfect,
Okay.
perfect. So many of you guys know Donna by her comments. She goes by Shamrock Quilter because you do long arming, right?
Right.
So if they're from the Bay Area and they need a long armor, they can give you a call or they can message you.
Easy peasy.
Okay. And then if they live by you, they could you also teach classes at the senior center?
Yep. I run the Oakley Senior Center on Wednesdays from 10 to 3. The only thing that you have to do is be a member of the Senior Center, and it's a whopping $15 for the entire year. And you can sew and get help. All help you want. I'm just there available for the ladies. And we do sewing, knitting, crocheting, whatever. I've had people who they're stuck on a pattern they can buy, and if I can't figure out, especially knitting, which I'm not great at, somebody else can. So we all kind of help each other, and it's a really great group. Plus, we have a Cocoa Cafe there, so you can get lunch for $3.
Oh
But
my
you have to
gosh, what a
order it ahead
bargain.
of time. So bargains.
So food and sewing. It doesn't get better. So
No.
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays,
All right.
Oakley Senior Center.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we have Donna here and she's going to be showing us a few quick easy projects, things she's just invented, and also she's going to be giving us a sneak peek at a few classes she's going to be teaching. So we have hey Peggy, hey Ann, how are you girls? All right, so show us what you've got first.
Okay, so the first one is an easy gift bag, and basically you cut any
Oops.
like
Here, you've
leftover
got my
fabric.
straggling threads here.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, so I'm making this a 12 by 24, but go through all your scraps, and you could even sew together something, or even if you have some extra blocks. So basically, you're going to iron it out nice and flat, and on the long edges, what we call the hot dogs. For those of you who have been in school,
I should get Roger to video
anyway.
this because he would actually be paying attention to what you're showing
Right,
and not
so,
what. Sorry, girls. I was so excited about what she was doing.
Okay, so iron it. Put a crease in the center. That's really important because you're going to need that crease later on, right? And on your edges, you're just going to take your edges and fold it over about a fourth of an inch. Doesn't have to be technical. And then one more time. And you're going to sew along each side on both sides. All right.
Okay, and then turn this around in case they want to take a snapshot of the directions. Okay.
I wrote it all out, make it easy peasy. So number one, cut 12 by 24. However, I'll tell you what, you can make it any size you want, but don't go smaller because smaller is just going to make it too hard on you. All right. So iron it, iron a crease in the middle, fold it over a fourth of an inch and then another fourth of an inch. And then you're going to do some magic because you're just going to sort of pleat this up and down, just like this, back and forth. Doesn't have to be like special pleats. And then you're going to tie a big knot in it. So we're going to make it look like a pretty little bow. And you're using that crease. That's how you're going to get to the middle of that, right? So then tie a knot. And then before you make your knot good and tight, what you're going to do is play with the fabric just a little bit because you want it not only to be a bow, but you want it so that the pretty side of your fabric, right? Your right side of your fabric is showing out. So just sort of take your time, get it in the center, make it good and strong. And then you're going to turn it so that right sides are together and about maybe 3 inches down from the knot, put a little thing to remind yourself where you're going to start. Because if you go too close, you're not going to be able to put your hand in there to put anything. So now I'm going to give this to Beth. And Beth is going to sew from pin all the way around the other side, except she's on the floor picking up something. I don't know what.
Oh, sorry. I kicked out the plug. So I'm trying to re-plug the machine so we don't run out of power. Okay, so they went to get Roger so that Roger can bring. the video over. Okay, girls. Roger's got to come hold the video while I sew it. Well, you actually don't need to see me sew it, honestly.
You want Bruce to hold it? I can hold it.
Here, you just keep talking, telling them about something else.
Okay, got it.
So I'm
she's
going
gonna
to sew from this pin,
which is about 3 inches down from my knot on each side.
all the way around the open side, not the knot side, right?
You got it. So
okay.
Pin to pin.
Okay.
Okay, got it. So I guess while she's doing that, I'll give you a sneak peek. Her and I have been talking about this fabric that she has. It's really incredible. It's like, to me, very bohemian. But this is a pattern called Tamarack Jacket. It's TAMARACK jacket. And Beth is going to order the pattern. So she has it here at the store. And basically, it's a real easy, fun jacket to make. And I made it so that it is reversible as well. So if you feel like, 2 different colors, you've got options, right? So you can wear it this way or that way. And like I said, she's got all of the fabric here at the store, and she's going to order this. And if I can get this back on again, that'd be great. And then we have a second idea here for you guys for a class. And that's if you guys have a sewing machine, that you cut like a ton of patterns on it, but you don't use all of the stitches. So basically, you're going to get a piece of fabric, and you can either make your own little sandwich, right, quilt sandwich, or you can use that pre-quilted fabric. But just make sure that when you pick your fabric, it has a high contrast from your thread. So I did this one as a sample of what not to do, because if you do the fabric like so similar, you're not going to see all of the stitches. The idea behind this is that you stitch a little bit of each one of those 300 or whatever stitches that you have on your sewing machine. And on the back side of this is the magic. You write with a permanent marker the number, so you can go back and have a reference. And I even purposely kind of messed around with the gears on my machine. So I have a couple places where knots are made up, and I wrote myself a note. This is what happened when my bobbin got empty. This is what happened of certain things, right? So you have a reference. I also made it so that if you have, most of the machines now have like a little table. I made it so that I have a pocket for my table, and it would slide in there, so you can just measure your own table. I made this big enough that I have a place for my cell phone and my chapstick and all those things you need when you're sewing. And I made this just a really small one, only because of the fact that I wanted a place for my seam ripper and my little scissors.
So basically, this is a mat for your sewing machine.
You got it. So we'll go like right off of the edge. And then I made it wide enough that I have a place that I can put this cute little guy off of the edge. And I got it so that, trying to reach.
So she's got
So
a trash can and a pin cushion.
You got
Nice.
it. And then I still can reach my little scissors and my seam ripper. I also have a place for my mug, right?
Perfect.
That's the best part. And then because, that's kind of a small pin cushion, this little guy that I made, and it's just filled with either you can do rice. This one's got walnut shells in it. And I don't know about you, but I always sew with a whole gang of ladies, right? I use this to wrap around the very edge of my sewing machine, right where I plug it in. And there's always somebody who leaves early, right? And they won't accidentally unplug your machine, because they're going to know this little red thing was your machine, because it goes with all your other stuff. So
Perfect. So how did you make these projects? My people need it broken down, okay?
When they go to do the mat, I'll show them how to do all of this
Okay.
at the same time. Because this is so easy. This is just a triangle. That's all it is. And then I tied a knot on it.
Super
filled it.
cute.
And same way with this. You just make it, make it to fit yours. And I put a little edge on it just because I wanted to be cute, and Velcroed it so I can easy peasy it.
So when you guys are going to the retreat, and you know how it was last year, one person unplugs and they unplug everybody because they don't know what cord belongs to their machine.
Right. And then they're flipping out.
Yes.
Because especially if you've got it on one of these specialty designs, or worse, if you're embroidering, if you're doing your embroidery on it and someone turns off your machine. So Beth has sewn this, and
I hope I did it right.
you did a great job.
Okay.
And all you gotta do is turn it inside out, and just take a few seconds to do that.
Peggy says, great idea. She loves it.
Yeah, we should show her the fabric for the idea for the coat. Okay, so watch this.
For the
Easy.
Bohemian fabric?
Mhm.
Oh.
That would be perfect for this thing. All right,
Yes.
so all this is now is a little gift bag, and you could fill it with a gift card or candy or whatever you want, and it could just hang. In fact, if you wanted to, you could slide it on
Somebody's
on the-
doorknob.
You could, yeah, that would be cute on a
Mhm.
neighbor's doorknob,
You
or
can
even
play
on your
doorbell
tree.
ditch.
or your. I like
Mhm.
doorbell ditch.
Mhm.
I might actually have to do that to one
Yes.
of my neighbors. That'd be
Yes.
fun. Just fill it full of bunches of candies and cookies. And
Right.
whatever. And you can make this huge. I mean, I just made it small. I wouldn't make it too small because otherwise it's kind of hard to get your hand in there to put things in. That's why I was saying like three or so inches. But
Right.
yeah, easy. So
super cute. So if you
Yeah.
make it bigger, you could put banana bread in it or
whatever you want,
anything.
right?
Yes.
Or even hang this on the tree.
And it literally took like 5 seconds to make.
Easy.
Mhm.
And then if you really want to go crazy and you've got like a lot of leftover blocks, this would be cute. Use a leftover block on the front of it.
Oh, yeah.
And you know,
Super
or
cute.
even you can even embroider somebody's name on the front of it.
Yeah.
So
It'd be a great project bag. You could put all your supplies in it that you need for a
Yeah.
certain project.
actually, if you made this really huge, you could
Yeah.
make this into a tote bag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be kind of a cute little slouchy sling purse.
Uh-huh.
I might have to line it though.
Yeah,
No, it's no longer
easy.
the quick and easy project. It's a little bit more detailed.
It wouldn't be that hard.
Okay, okay, we're gonna go over it again for you girls, just because I know you need some things repeated.
As I tried, I made this not too good, didn't I? All right, so I'll do it again. All it is a piece of fabric. Mine was 12 by 24. And the big thing is to iron it and iron a crease down that center so you have a place where you're going to put your knot. And then about 1/4 of an inch. Don't kill yourself because this is so easy, right? You don't have to measure. 1/4
You
of
just
an
want to
inch.
hem the edges so it's
Roll
a
it.
pretty outside edge.
Right, just roll
Mhm.
it twice and don't worry about the end seams because it's going to be in the bottom. And then once that is done, then just pleat it.
Scrunch it up.
Yeah, just sort of pleat it a little bit and tie your knot right in the center, right on that crease. And if you have a hard time finding your crease again, you could always put like a little pin or something just so that you can find it. But here's what not to do. See how I did it? And I've got the outside fabric.
yeah,
That looks
yeah.
ugly, right?
Yes.
So
unless you were
before-
using a batik or something where it wouldn't matter.
Right. So before you go crazy hard with your, pulling hard on the knot, make sure that the right side of your fabric is showing out. And then pull your knot. Easy.
So
And then
you guys
right
might
sides
not
together.
realize you're actually watching a famous sewist. So Donna did win at PIQF. For those of you who are not from the West Coast and don't know what PIQF is, that's Pacific International Quilt Festival. Probably I would say between Road to California and PIQF, those are the two biggest on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Donna won the most innovative in the clothing category.
Yeah, it's wearable arts.
Wearable arts.
And on ensembles, because there's two sections for wearable arts. One is just a jacket,
Uh-huh.
and then the other part of it would be in a complete ensemble. So for complete ensemble, you have to be able to put the clothes on and walk out the door. So
Okay.
yeah, so like if you do pants, you have to have a whole outfit to go
Like a
with it.
shirt and
Right. So
yes.
like when I did this, when I won for this one the year before.
Wait, so
that-
you won the year before too?
Yeah, the year before I took.
I told you guys she's royalty.
Oh boy! So the year before I took best in sewing machine workmanship, and I won a Bernina, which is all of these. So yeah, all of those stitches right there.
Super fun.
So,
So how long have you been entering into the clothing category at PIQF?
Okay, this is funny. This was my 6th year on the runway. On the runway, you are not part of the competition. And one year, I got done with the runway, and the two ladies that were in charge of the runway, Rachel Clark, she told me, she says, you really need to put that in for competition.
Right.
So the following year, I put it in competition. That's when I won the sewing machine.
Wow.
So
So-
then I put quilts in
Right.
and never won a thing.
Well,
on a
the-
quilt.
And the quilting competitions is a lot
Huge.
more aggressive. I mean, those people literally make one quilt per year more as a business.
Right.
I mean, that is their job, and they focus on it all year
Right.
because they intend to win not only at PIQF but at Road to California and all across the United States at all of the big shows.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So when you
and local
mentioned the
guild stuff, I win guild stuff. I
right,
won a lot on the guild stuff, and I won a lot on like the county fair stuff. I was doing pretty good on that.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I just never thought, oh, Pacific International, it's so big.
right,
So-
right. It's
and then
it's very overwhelming because the best of the best is
Right.
there.
And I did have one coat that I never put into PQIF going to world competition. And so it was over in Ireland, Galway, Ireland. once.
Wow. Wow.
So, yeah.
Well,
that
you'll
was
have to
cool.
post some of those photos on the Fabric Chick Stitch Along so we can see them.
Yeah, I have my assistant help me.
Yeah, yeah. Her technical director, also known as her husband, hopefully can help her so we can see them.
Right.
But so when you mentioned the runway, I was actually shocked that there is a runway show at PIQF.
Yeah.
I have been a vendor at PIQF for, I don't know, 15 years. And I did not realize there was this like secret cult that goes on Friday night. It is, I think, the best entertainment, the best bang for your buck. If you're going to PIQF, you should not miss it. It's fabulous. Rachel Clark was the, what do you call him? There's a special name for it. And not the announcer, but the.
Well, she's actually in charge of the entire event right from the very beginning. But she also does the MC for
Yes.
it. And the cool
She's
part-
hilarious.
Yeah, she's fun, and the fun part for me as a designer is that I can sit in the audience and I watch the models wear my clothes, and sometimes I'm sitting there and they're all oohing and ahhing, and I'm thinking, okay, if I change this or that, and then I go home and I literally change it. I had one, in fact, the one that I won, the sewing machine workmanship. It started out as a jacket, but when I saw it on the runway, I thought, oh, that would be really cool as a coat.
Mhm.
So I took it apart and I made it into a coat. And then, of course, because I want it for ensemble, I made a dress. And I even handmade shoes before, too, for this thing. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's
Wow.
fun. Yeah,
Yes.
it's fun.
And if you guys
So-
have seen the wearable arts at PIQF is it's smaller than the quilt exhibit, but it's still fairly extensive. And it is amazing. It's amazing what gets entered. Like the yo-yo dress. Was that not incredible?
I can't believe so. And it looked like an older yo-yo.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the thing. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody took apart their grandmother's outfit and, made
Yeah.
it into an outfit.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
was stunning. Yeah,
Yes.
it was cool. And the wedding dress.
Mm-hmm.
I like the wedding dress. It actually had a wedding ring in the center,
Right.
just for the
For the cummerbundish.
like a
Yeah.
like a cummerbund.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, they're fun. I highly recommend going to PQAF. And Friday, I will be there. I'm already working on 3 outfits for the next runway. I had 3 on the runway last year too.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always had for the last 6 years, I had 2 outfits at least on the runway. But last year I had 3.
Mm-hmm.
So and next year I'm gonna have 3 too.
Perfect. So if
So-
I know you don't want to give out this information because you don't want it to get too huge and the competition to get too great. But if anybody wanted to enter into it, do you have any words of advice for them
For the competition,
or the runway?
and
And get your tickets for the runway now, guys. It is so fun.
well, the runway, actually, if you get your tickets for the entire weekend, it's free. So you don't have to pay extra.
Oh
I-
wow.
Yeah, so,
Really?
just telling you that. And then tips. Just show your best work. And if you make a mistake, go back and take it over. I think that's part of the thing, even when I'm at the senior center and I'm trying to help people with their sewing, they don't want to take a boo-boo out. They're like,
It's good
just
enough.
let it be. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good enough. I'm not going to do it. But if you're going to sew at that level, You have to have absolute perfection.
Right.
I wouldn't even put anything in or on the runway unless it was perfect.
Right.
So,
So girls, that just counts me out because you know I'm not ripping anything out. But for those of you who actually care, rip it out and do it right.
right.
And we did have one of our girls that are on the lives all the time, Dorothy Thomas Reed. She actually had an ensemble on the runway this year. So
yeah,
so
good.
she had a blast. She loved
She's
it.
like Utah or somewhere.
Utah, yeah, she flew in from Utah.
Nice lady, and she wanted to do her own modeling, so she actually got up there and modeled too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
bless her heart.
I know.
I sit in the audience and watch.
Right, yeah. It takes a lot of guts to get up there.
Right.
I remember that from my modeling days when you're like terrified you're going to trip over your own feet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's see. Ladies, if you have any questions, you can just go ahead and type them in right now. I know it's kind of spontaneous, so most of you are going to be watching this after it's been recorded. But any other tips or tricks?
Can't think of anything. Just practice sewing and have fun with it, and make stupid things once in a while. You know, it doesn't always have to be like 100%. I'm on, and it's got to be perfect. You know, something like this, it's fun. You can just make them. You can knock these suckers out left and right.
Right. And
Just
use
have
up a
fun
little
with
bit
it.
of your stash so you
Oh,
won't feel guilty buying more.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's my motto.
Or buy more.
Yes, yes.
There you go.
Okay, so we will be putting together a couple of classes. One, so that you can play with your sewing machine. You can learn all these fancy stitches. And then these projects will go along with it. So we've got a garbage bag with a pin cushion, the mat with the pockets for you to be organized, because you know how I love organization. And then the cord, because you're going to be upset. The person who unplugs your machine is not going to be upset, but you are. So the quick, easy little identifier for your cord, and another fabulous pin cushion. Look at it. Looks like a heart. I think we need to make lots of these and send them to all of our sewing buddies for Valentine's Day.
That'd be cute.
Yes, super fun.
And the jacket.
Yes.
Jacket.
All right, Beverly Ann, you're going to have to go back and rewatch this in its entirety, but we are glad that you joined us. And Shirley, it's great to see you. We will see you guys all soon. Thank you so much, Donna, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.
Check out the color of the building. It's really cool. The Purple Palace.
Yes, Purple Palace. I like that, Purple Palace. Is it purple or is it pink? Like, people come in
It's
asking
actually
that
a
question.
mauve. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
say it's
mauve.
lilac. Maybe
Mm.
orchid.
What do you think?
Mauve.
Mauve. I'm thinking mauve,
Okay.
but we'll call it Purple Palace. The door is
Okay.
purple.
Yes, yes. All right, you can't miss the building now. All right, June says she really enjoyed the demo. Thank you very much. All right, girls, we'll see you tomorrow at 4:00. Thank you. Have a great day. Go get some sewing done. Go sew. So you can end it, Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger.